Michael Moore has a new movie out, so it's time for him to remind us all how crazy he is and why we don't usually pay attention to him in the first place. And of course, since his film is about Donald Trump, that craziness had to be Trump-related. During the New York City premiere of Fahrenheit 11/9, Moore was asked if he knew the anonymous writer and Trump administration official who penned "I am part of the resistance inside the Trump administration" for The New York Times. His insane theory? President Trump himself. "You want me to make a wild guess, Trump wrote it or one of his minions wrote it," Moore said, according to Showbiz 411. He's the master of distraction. He's the king of the misdirect. If we've ever known anything by now, it's that he does things to get people to turn away, and the line that is most identifiable in terms of what he wants the public to believe, the line that says, "Don't worry, adults are in the room," Moore added. The idea is to get him to get us to calm down and look away from what he's really doing. Yes, because there's nothing as calming as someone saying the president is so problematic his closest aides literally have to thwart his agenda from within. That's apparently a "don't worry, adults in the room" moment for Moore. After all, the anonymous writer claimed that senior officials in his own administration are working diligently from within to frustrate parts of his agenda and his worst inclinations. The root of the problem is the president's amorality. Anyone who works with him knows he is not moored to any discernible first principles that guide his decision-making, the writer asserted. Although he was elected as a Republican, the president shows little affinity for ideals long espoused by conservatives: free minds, free markets and free people. At best, he has invoked these ideals in scripted settings. At worst, he has attacked them outright: adults in the room, ladies and gentlemen. When we don't know the identity of an anonymous source, there's always some sort of guessing game, and there are always those on the fringes. This was true with Deep Throat during the Watergate era, with some people on the fringes speculating that it was actually Henry Kissinger or Gerald Ford. These individuals, however, weren't taken seriously. Yes, until former Deputy FBI Director Mark Felt was revealed as being the source used by Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein to unravel Watergate, you could theoretically believe anyone was responsible, but logic would dictate there were only a few possible candidates and someone that prominent likely wasn't among them. However, I don't remember anyone saying that Richard Nixon was Deep Throat. I'm sure there might have been some truly outré individual out there who thought the president outed himself to try to distract from other things and it got out of hand, or some such ridiculous theory, but anyone who did would not only be dismissed but ridiculed. This isn't Moore's first descent into kookery, as anyone who watched Fahrenheit 9/11 and witnessed its fever dream fantasies about George W. Bush and the Bin Laden family can attest. If you haven't, don't waste your time. The point is that Michael Moore keeps on saying fundamentally unserious things and the left keeps on listening to them. These are the same people, mind you, who feel very strongly that Alex Jones should not be heard by anyone, anywhere, at any time. Yet, they're perfectly happy to fed a conspiracy theorist who peddles nonsense like Donald Trump being anonymous writer. If cognitive dissonance could produce electricity, we'd never have to burn another piece of coal again.